मुझे रिक्वेस्ट कर आग लाइन टा ऑनरेबल जजेस मानी टिके छाड़ी दिंतु काइंडली रिक्वेस्ट कर आग लाइन आई रिक्वेस्ट द फर्स्ट लाइन रो प्लीज वैकेट दैट फर्स्ट लाइन रो सो द ऑनरेबल जजेस आर गोइंग टू सिट आगे आगे गोटे पछू खाली पड़ा सॉरी फॉर द इनकन्वीनियंस जे बाहर अच्छा हु आर outside, please, I request all of them to take their seats. We are going to start the program within 5-10 minutes. Please, I request all of the persons who are standing outside, all the advocates, learned advocate friends who are standing outside, please come to the auditorium. आज्ञा आगे
Yes, yes. Chairman back council, please. Sir, please. Chairman back council, you call him in the front row. Itni judges sitting without.
सीतांशु सर आपण प्लीज आपण को रिक्वेस्ट करा होचे आपण आगरे बसिबे यू आर आवर लीडर ऑफ द बार एंटायर स्टेट प्लीज गिव हिम अ बिग हैंड
थैंक यू सर थैंक यू
हेलो हाँ हाँ नहीं ठीक है मुझे देखा करी
I request all the advocates who are standing outside the auditorium to come inside the auditorium. We are going to start within 10 minutes. We have seats upstairs also in the balcony. Anybody who is not finding place in downstairs, they can go upstairs also. We are also going live on YouTube. So we have provided that link. You can share with your family members and other advocates who are not able to come to the program, so they can see it live on YouTube. Sir, आपण आहे लीडर ऑफ द बार. आपण समस्ते जिते आणले. आपण उपरू गले केमती हबो सर? आपण तळे रहिया पडे. Okay, request for apply.
हाँ हाँ
Hello. I'm calling everybody who are standing outside to please take their respective seats. If the seats are downstairs not available, they can go upstairs.
Upstairs there are a lot of seats available, please. I request all of you.
नमस्कार सभारे उपस्थित समस्त अंकु मोरा स्नेह भरा स्वागत. I warm welcome to everyone present here. I request Mr. Manoj Kumar Mishra, Senior Advocate, President, Orissa High Court Bar Association, to kindly escort Honorable Mr. Justice Harish Tandon, Chief Justice, Orissa High Court, and Shri Pitambara Acharya, Learned Advocate General, State of Orissa, to the dais. Honorable Mr. Justice Vikramnath, Judge Supreme Court of India, will be shortly joining us within 10 minutes. He is on his way to the auditorium. I welcome Honorable Mr. Justice Harish Tandon, Chief Justice, Orissa High Court, Mr. Pitambar Acharya, Learned Advocate General, State of Orissa, Mr. Manoj Kumar Shah, Senior Advocate, President, Orissa High Court Bar Association. I extend warm welcome to all our distinguished guests, Senior Advocate, especially our friends and colleagues from Orissa. I also welcome all the senior advocates and advocates from the Supreme Court Bar who are here. It gives me immense pleasure to note that today's mark the first collaborative effort of the Supreme Court Bar Association and the Orissa High Court Bar Association. This is just not a seminar, but a bridge connecting the apex bar with one of the most vibrant state bar association of our country. It is truly heartening that Orissa High Court Bar has joined us. Your presence enriches this discussion and reflects the collective spirit of the bar across the country. It's my privilege to welcome you all. I request Mr. Mukesh Kumar, Member Executive Supreme Court Bar Association, to present bouquet of flower to Honorable Mr. Justice Harish Tandon, Chief Justice, Orissa High Court. I request Ms. Rachna Gandhi, Member Executive Supreme Court Bar Association, to present bouquet of flowers to Pitambara Acharya, Learned Advocate General, State of Orissa. Now I request Mr. Rohit Vats, Member Executive, Supreme Court Bar Association, to give bouquet of flowers to Mr. Manoj Kumar Mishra, Senior Advocate, President, Orissa High Court Bar Association. Request Upen Mishra ji to give bouquet of flowers to Abhijit Patnaik, Secretary, Orissa High Court Bar Association. I request Ruma Pathak, Member Executive, Supreme Court Bar Association member, to give bouquet of flowers to Chitanshu Dwivedi, sir, Chairman Bar Council of Orissa.
I welcome everybody, Jai Jagannath. So at this great occasion with the collaboration with SCBA Supreme Court Bar Association, we are organizing this discussion on AI, media and law, and we are very delighted to welcome them over here. So I request now our Bhubaneswar Bar Association Secretary, Mr. Satya, to hand over a bouquet of flower to our Honorable Secretary, SCBA. We are highly honorable and also delighted to welcome our learned judges of Orissa High Court to this auditorium and to be a part of this discussion. So I request our executive body members to hand over a bouquet of flower to Justice Mahesh Ranjan Pathak, sir. Please hand over a bouquet of flower. I request executive body member to executive body member to hand over a bouquet of flowers to Justice Sangam Kumar Saul. Now I request our executive body member to hand over a bouquet of flowers to Justice Sanjeev Kumar Panigrai. I request our executive body member to hand over a bouquet of flowers to Honorable Justice Savitri Rathore. I request our executive body member to hand over a bouquet of flowers to Justice R.K. Patnaik, sir. Now I request our executive body member to hand over a bouquet of flowers to Honorable Justice Sasikant Mishra, sir. I request our executive body member to hand over a bouquet of flowers to Justice Aditya Kumar Mahapatra. I request our executive body member to hand over a bouquet of flowers to Honorable Justice B.P. Satpathy, sir. I request our executive body member to hand over a bouquet of flowers to Justice Honorable Justice G. Satpathy, sir. I request our executive body member to hand over a bouquet of flowers to Honorable Chittaranjan Das, sir. I request our executive body member to hand over a bouquet of flowers to Honorable Justice Siva Shankar Mishra, sir. Okay. I request our executive body member to give a bouquet of flowers to our Honorable Justice Narsingh, sir. I request our executive body member to hand over a bouquet of flowers to our Honorable Justice Sanjay Kumar Mishra, sir.
I request our
I request our executive body member to give a bouquet of flower to Justice Sai, who is present in this August gathering. Please, I request the executive.
Today's discussion on India, artificial intelligence and law comes at a very crucial time. Let me begin with few facts. India has nearly 900 television channels, over 1.2 lakhs registered newspaper, and more than 800 million internet users. This means media is the largest platform of public debate. It directly affects law, justice, and democracy. At the same time, report shows that 70% of Indians get their news primarily through social media platforms. The news that goes viral is often your neighbor's WhatsApp forward, which raises concern about misinformation and fake news. As Mark Twain has warned, a lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is still putting on its shoes. Even this warning was given in the 19th century. It is also relevant today. In India, that lie often arrives first as a WhatsApp forward. On an AI front, the legal field is changing rapidly. In 2023, the Supreme Court of India launched the e-Supreme Court Services app. More than 4,000 virtual hearings takes place daily across the country. Globally, the study shows that AI tools can review contracts up to 90% faster than manual review. And in India, several high courts have already started using AI for translation of judgments into regional languages. But these opportunity comes with challenges. A UNESCO report of 2021 on AI warned that AI system can reflect biases in data, leading to unfair results. In law, this would mean a biased sentencing, prediction, or unequal access to justice. Similarly, unregulated media trial can affect the right to fair hearing, which is protected under Article 21 of our Constitution. Therefore, the big question before us is how do we ensure that media and AI remains tool for strengthening justice and not a threat? The answer lies in creating a legal framework that encourages innovation while safeguarding fairness, accountability, and transparency. I'm hopeful that through today's discussion, we will move closer to that balance. I request Mr. Manoj Kumar Mishra, President, Orissa High Court Bar Association, to receive. I've been informed that Justice Vikram Nath has reached the venue. we have all have heard about copying a singer's voices. When AI copies a singer voice, it is not just a music at stake, it's identity, dignity, and the law. If the law protects the composer, singer, it must also protect the singer voice from being cloned by machines. So this is one threat we are all facing with regard to AI. Technology can imitate voice, but justice must preserve the right behind that voice. AI may copy your tune, but without law, it can silence your rights. So we need a new AI law, which we can all deliberate right now on this. Can we just wait for 5 minutes? We just. Sandra said you would like to start the debate. Would you like to speak? No. No. Wait. You start? Okay. No, if you want to start, I'll just announce. Okay.
Honorable Chief Justice Harish Tandonji, the chief guest of this august gathering, Honorable Justice Bikram Nath, His Lordship is, I was told that he has already arrived. It may take a few minutes to reach the dais. Mr. Vikas Singh, President of Supreme Court Bar Association, he would also be reaching shortly, and Mr. Manoj Mishra, Sister Pragya, office bearers of the Supreme Court and High Court Bar Association, esteemed honorable judges of Orissa High Court, my esteemed seniors, so, my lord, I was called upon to speak before today. Already 2.5 hours behind the schedule. So I told the secretary that I neither have speech not to speak on the topic media, artificial intelligence and law. I started my career as a media person before coming to law. And the middle word is yet to be discovered by me, quite strange. And to my mind, human intelligence has no substitute. Whatever may be the advent of technology, and whatever may the modern situation to cope up, whether it's law, public life, or any spectrum of life, human computer is the best computer in the globe so far invented by the nature. We have been able to control everyone except the nature, whose fury we witnessed in the morning and the major cause for the postponement of this program for 2.5 hours. So this artificial intelligence, to my mind, has emerged maybe an essential tool in many ways, but let it not be emerge as a Frankenstein's monster to devour its own creator. Recently, one of the biggest scientists and exponents of AI of United States clearly cautioned that the artificial intelligence let it not grab the human mind. I distinctly remember when I joined the bar way back in 1991, my senior, one of the tallest members of the High Court bar, he was also the Advocate General, of course, for the longest tenure, for 14 years almost. He was telling us to find out the decision from the books. I remember many golden legal principles for which we were searching from the AIR manual, ACC, wo jo compilation hai. So that was the method of searching the decisions. Nowadays, to my young friends, I can give a word of caution that maybe you might have many search engines, SSC online, this AIR online, Manupatra, so many search engines for finding out the case laws, but never miss the book. Books have no substitute, and it is always profitable to refer to a book and a hard copy, and that has no substitute to my mind. Even today, though I am not that technologically advanced, I know little about it, but I always prefer to take a hard copy of the paper book to the court because that I feel is much more convenient for any lawyer to mark it, to refer to the etc. etc. So let me be very precise. The Honorable Chief Guest has already come, and His Lordship is one of the biggest exponents of this technology and for introduction of this technology, advancement of technology in the judicial forum. I'll not waste much time, and I must thank the efforts of both the presidents of Supreme Court Bar Association, Sri Vikas Singh ji and Mr. Manoj Mishra, for uniting both the top court and the top constitutional court of our state. Friends from the Supreme Court, many of whose faces are familiar to me, they are here. I welcome each one of you to the side of Lord Jagannath and wish this function all success. Thanking you all. Bande Utkal Janani.
Thank you, sir. I request Mr. Abhijit Das, Assistant Secretary, Orissa High Court Bar Association, to come forward and present bouquet of flowers to Honorable Mr. Justice Vikram Nath, Judge, Supreme Court of India. I request Mr. Sapan Pal, Library Secretary, Orissa High Court Bar Association, to present bouquet of flowers to Vikas Singh, Senior Advocate, President, Supreme Court Bar Association. Now I request all the dignitaries on dais to come forward for the reading of the land. Now I request Mr. Manoj Kumar Mishra, Senior Advocate, President, Orissa High Court Bar Association, to give mementos to Honorable Mr. Justice Vikram Nath, Judge, Supreme Court of India.
भाई टिप भूल लीजिए तो आप एक्सक्यूज मी भाई
I request sir to give mementos to Honorable Mr. Justice Chandan, Chief Justice, Orissa High Court. Sir, to give mementos to Pitambara Acharya, sir, Learned Advocate General, State of Orissa.
सर्टिफिकेट के साइड सर्टिफिकेट भूल गए सर्टिफिकेट
एक्सक्यूज
सर सर सर
I request sir to give mementos to our President, Mr. Vikas Singh, Senior Advocate of the Supreme Court Bar Association. I request sir to give mementos to Mr. Ram Kaushik, Senior Advocate and Vice President, Supreme Court Bar Association. Vice President.
ପଛକୁ ତମେ ପଳେଇ ଆସ ଟିକେ ଭାଇ
भाई पछू
ଆଉ ତମେ ଟିକେ
I request our Honorable President, sir, to give a memento to our Secretary ACB.
Sorry for height adjustment. I request Mr. Rahul Kaushik, Senior Advocate and Vice President, Supreme Court Bar Association, to kindly give his welcome address.
Honorable Mr. Justice Vikram Nath, Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Harish Tandon, Chief Justice Orissa High Court, Honorable Judges of Orissa High Court, Mr. Pitambara Acharya, Advocate General, State of Orissa, Shri Vikas Singh, our President, Ms. Pragya Baghel, our Secretary, Mr. Manoj Mishra, President Orissa Bar, Mr. Abhijit Patnaik, Secretary Orissa High Court Bar, ladies and gentlemen, First of all, I wish to thank all of you that you have waited. We all got stuck up. We all know that our flight got delayed. We had an 8-hour journey from Delhi. Extremely thankful to all of you for waiting for this long. Extremely grateful. Media historically has been one of democracy's greatest allies in the vigilance. During our freedom struggle, it was the ink of newspapers that inspired millions. Bal Gangadhar Tilak Kesari stirred the conscience of the nation. Gandhi's Young Indian and Harijan became platforms of truth. Even some local journals printed with meager resources carried the aspiration of ordinary people. After independence, media became the fourth pillar of democracy, entrusted with informing citizens and holding powers accountable. But history is not all about trumps. It is also about warnings. During emergency of 1975, newspapers were censored, editors silenced, and voices gagged. Even in the darkness, there was resistance. The blank editorials, the symbolic protests reminded us that truth finds ways to speak, even when suppressed. The lesson of the terror is clear. When media is silenced, liberty suffocates. Today, the challenge is not silence but distortion. The media landscape has changed dramatically. The digital evolution gave voice to millions but also amplified falsehoods. Social media has democratized speech, but it has also weaponized misinformation. A rumor today can spread to millions in minutes. A doctored video, a deep fake can tarnish reputations, influence elections, or even incite violence. If in the 70s the threat was censorship, in our times the threat is confusion. Let us also remind us that media is not merely a watchdog, it shapes the minds of citizens, especially the young. When it informs responsibly, democracy is enriched. Media is not only a business, it is a trust. It must be sustained by ethics, guided by responsibility, and protected by law. And yet, we must acknowledge the structural pressures that media faces today. The economics of journalism has changed. Advertising, clicks, and algorithm often dictates priorities. This reality cannot be ignored, but it also must not be accepted as destiny. Just as the legal profession has code of conduct, media too must strengthen its self-regulation. Responsible journalism is not a luxury, it is a necessity for democracy. And the law's role is not to suffocate but to support, to create conditions where truth can flourish. As we reflect on the history and destiny of media, let us remember this. Without media, democracy is blind. Without responsible media, democracy is misled. The path forward must be to preserve freedom while demanding accountability. That balance is delicate, but it is the only way. Now, coming down to artificial intelligence, or AI as we commonly call it, it is not a distant promise of the future. It is already our present. In our courtrooms, AI is assisting in translation of judgments into regional languages, making them accessible to people who may have never read a single paper of law before. In our offices, AI-powered research tools are scanning millions of documents in seconds, finding precedents that once took weeks of labor by juniors. Across our society, AI is present in ways we do not even notice, from predicting traffic rules to recommending what we read to approving loans or detecting fraud. It is tempting to see AI as a miracle solution. Indeed, its potential is vast. Imagine an India where a farmer in rural Orissa can in his own language read the exact words of a Supreme Court judgment in a land right case without needing an intermediary. Imagine a young lawyer in small district court preparing for a matter with access to digital rules that bring him close to the research resources of the best law libraries. These are not unrealistic dreams. They are happening already, albeit in a small steps. In the United States, a criminal justice algorithm called Compass was used to predict the likelihood of reoffending. Studies showed that it disproportionately labeled African American defendants as high risk. The algorithm was not racist by design. It was racist because it was trained on data from a justice system with embedded structural biases. In Europe, facial technologies have raised alarm about discrimination and privacy. In China, AI has been used extensively for surveillance, often at the cost of individual freedoms. These examples remind us that technology is never neutral. It reflects the values or the biases of its makers and its users. Equally dangerous is the temptation to equate efficiency with justice. Yes, AI can process millions of data points, but justice is not only about data. It is about conscience. Bail decisions, for instance, are not mechanical calculations. They involve the delicate balance between individual liberty and society interest. AI may assist, but it must never decide. This brings me to the role of law as guardian of balance. The strength of Indian law has always been its ability to adopt without losing its anchor. Our courts have confronted challenges of new technologies before, but challenges grow faster than judgments. Deepfakes, algorithmic discrimination, automated decision making, these demand a jurisprudence of artificial intelligence. Globally, the European Union has taken the lead with AI Act, which classifies AI application by risk and imposes strict regulation on high-risk uses like healthcare, law enforcement, or justice. The General Data Protection Regulation sets a global benchmark for data privacy, requiring informed consent and accountability. UNESCO has issued AI ethics guidelines emphasizing fairness, transparency, and human oversight. The United States debates algorithmic bias and corporate responsibility. China, while embracing AI, uses it for surveillance in a way that restricts freedom. Secondly, we must regulate AI responsibly. India must build a framework that insists on transparency, accountability, and fairness. Algorithms used in governance must be subject to independent audits. Citizens must have the right to know why a decision was made and the right to challenge it. Data protection must be strengthened with robust safeguards against misuse by both state and private actors. The Digital Personal Data Protection Act is a step, but more is needed. We must preserve the core values of our constitution. Technology will change, media will evolve, but liberty and equality must remain non-negotiable. Every policy, every framework must be tested against these values. If they enhance them, they are welcome. If they weaken them, they must be resisted. Friends, media, technology, and law are rivers that flow into the ocean of democracy. If they flow harmoniously, they will nourish liberty. If they clash chaotically, they will flood it. The choice is ours. Let us choose wisely. Finally, I thank you for your patience, for your engagement, and for your commitment to justice. May our deliberation not end here, but continue in our courtrooms, in the judgments, in our advocacy, in the daily lives of citizens who look to us for justice. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahul. Now I request Mr. Manoj Kumar Mishra, President, Orissa High Court Bar Association, to kindly address the gathering.
Good afternoon to all. Jai Jagannath. Actually, today I am not here to deliver a speech because there is no time. My Lord Justice Bikram Nath, Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Harish Tandon, Chief Justice of High Court of Orissa, Mr. Vikas Singh, Senior Advocate, President, Supreme Court Bar Association, Mr. Rahul Kaushik, Senior Advocate, Vice President, Supreme Court Bar Association, Ms. Pragya Baghel, Secretary, Supreme Court Bar Association, Mr. Pitambar Acharya, Senior Advocate, Advocate General of Orissa, Honorable Judges of Orissa High Court of Orissa, Office Bearers of Supreme Court Bar Association, Sri Siddharth Das, Vice President, Orissa High Court Bar Association, Sri Abhijit Patnaik, Secretary and Office Bearers of Orissa High Court Bar Association, Registrar General and Officers of Judiciary, Senior Advocates, members of legal fraternity, friends from print and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, it is a great honor and privilege for me, on behalf of the association, to stand here at a vital dialogue of our times on media, artificial intelligence and law, organized by Supreme Court Bar Association in collaboration with Orissa High Court Bar Association. It is really, we are really privileged and really obliged to Vikas Singh ji, who has agreed to have a conference seminar on this topic, on an important topic today, with in collaboration with the Bar Association, and bringing my Lord Justice Nath on this occasion. That's why just one sentence I'll simply. Just as the printing press was revolutionary knowledge and television transformed mass communication, today AI stands at the heart of defining transformation of 21st century. As Justice Krishna once said, law without justice is without a cure. Today, I may add, technology without law is power without accountability. I will not speak more because we are waiting for to listen to erudite speakers, my Lord, like Justice Nath, Justice Tandon, and my friend Mr. Vikas Singh. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Mr. Vikas Singh, Senior Advocate and President, Supreme Court Bar Association, to kindly address the gathering.
Honorable Justice Bikram Nath, Judge Supreme Court of India, Justice Harish Tandon, Chief Justice of the Orissa High Court, Judges of the Orissa High Court present here, the Advocate General of the State of Orissa, our Vice President, Mr. Rahul Kaushik, President of the Orissa Bar Association, Mr. Manoj Mishra, Avijit Patnaik, Pragya Baghel, my EC members who have taken the trouble of coming from Delhi, members of the bar here, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, before talking on the subject, I must inform all of you of my connect with Orissa. I have studied in Orissa in 79-80 in Ravenshaw College, Cuttack, and in that 1 year of study, I have developed a deep sense of belonging with this state, and I carry a lot of good memories of my 1 year in this state. This event is successful primarily because of an interaction between me and my very distinguished colleague from the Supreme Court Bar, who is now a judge here, Shibu Shankar Mishra. We just were chatting the other day, and he said that we can do something like this. So I must thank Shibu first of all for starting this initiative and bringing me back to my second home state. My original home state is Bihar. This is my second home state, having studied here. It could not have been successful without, of course, Avijit Patnaik and Mr. Manoj Mishra and of course, the Advocate General. But I will also be failing in not pointing out the great help given by my very dear friend Ashok Parijaji, former Advocate General of Orissa. He is always a great support for us for anything that we want to do. And he is one person for whom I can just call him and he says it will be done. I thank you, Ashokji, for this, whatever that you've done in this, organizing this event here. This is a subject which is very, I would say, a very live subject for all of us. It's live because it has the ability to, create tensions. It has the ability to disturb any area. Today's warfare will not be fought on the battlefield. You will not have a third world war, but you will have war between countries or within countries being fought by the misuse of the social media, mainly using the AI platform. And that is what we really need to be aware of, and that is what we really need to discuss. This is a time of this in our country that even the Digital Personal Protection Act that has been brought in 2023 addresses only the personal issues of somebody's data being misused and his remedy in law. The Act unfortunately does not capture the misuse of AI by media, either for rigging an election or for changing the course of the discourse in society or for creating a public opinion or a narrative which is a false narrative. And I think it is high time that we did something to bring in a law or amend this law to tackle these things. Singapore in 2024 has come up with a new law where it has made all these service providers liable to a very heavy penalty if they carry any information which is found to be untrue or which is found to be fake or which is based on manufactured videos. And I think even EU has made a law, and I think India needs to also move ahead and do something in this regard, because if we don't address this problem now, it may create a lot of human conflict in the country, which is definitely not. Our country has a history of all cultures and all religions living together seamlessly, as if we are all part of one religion, one country, and that position should never be disturbed. Whether we are from any state or of any religion doesn't make any difference. We are ultimately all Indians, and that is what is important for us. So I think that's an area where we need to actually now focus, and I'm sure Justice Vikram Nath we are all waiting for his keynote address. I would have spoken also on this subject to my heart's content, but unfortunately we are, short of time. We have already we've already made all of you wait for a very long period of time, so I don't want to take any further time. I'd only thank everyone for being here, being patiently waiting for this discourse, and looking forward to the insightful lectures of Justice Harish Tandon and Justice Vikram Nath. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It is now my proud privilege to invite our guest of honor, Honorable Mr. Justice Harish Tandon, Chief Justice, Orissa High Court, to deliver the inaugural address.
Honorable Mr. Justice Vikram Nath, the Judge Supreme Court of India, my brother and sister judges of the Orissa High Court who are present both physically and on a virtual mode, Mr. Acharya, the Learned Advocate General of the State of Orissa, Mr. Vikas Singh, the President, and Ms. Pragya Baghel, the Secretary of the Supreme Court Bar Association, and all other office bearers of the Supreme Court Bar Associations who have, I think, taken a pain of coming from Delhi and who have traveled today must have faced a lot of, the difficulties in reaching the Bhubaneswar because of the incessant rain which intercepted the aircraft to land. I welcome them also. I welcome Mr. Manoj Mishra, the President, and Mr. Abhijit Patnaik, the Secretary, and the other office bearers of the Orissa High Court Bar Association, the learned senior advocates, and the members of the legal fraternities who are present in this august podium. And good afternoon to all of you. I do not know, because I was allotted a time of 15 minutes to deliver my address, but because of the delay in commencing this particular program, I do not know whether I should shorten my address or to continue with the allotted time which has been given to me. The topic which is now chosen by the Supreme Court Bar Association, that is the media, artificial intelligence and law, the combination is very difficult. And it is really an humongous task for anybody to speak on, to make a synchronization between all these three aspects. I will try to make some kind of a synergy in between that. This is really an innovative topic which has been chosen. And according to me, that creates not only the opportunities, but the challenges as evolved together. The artificial intelligence is reshaping the ways the stories are told and the news is distributed. Whether we realize it or not, the artificial intelligence influences what we watch, what we read, and what even we believe. When we say artificial intelligence, we mean it practically the computer systems that perform tasks that previously required human cognition, classifying images, generating text or audio, predicting behavior or applying statistical interference to decision making. The AI has transformed how news reaches people, from personalized news feeds to AI-generated entertainment. The shift is fast and far-reaching. Yet this tectonic shift has its own complications, particularly in India, where the culture and the linguistic diversity makes the media landscape delicate. As a matter of fact, the fundamental responsibilities of media across the world remains consistent to reveal the truth, ensure accountability, and lend voice to the voiceless. When artificial intelligence is driving change in media, the question that looms large is, will AI make media more trustworthy, or will it open floodgates to new risks? AI can speed up reporting, tailor content to individual preferences, and reach millions in seconds. And information that once took teams of people can now be spread by machines in a very short time. The audience analytics powered by AI is helping companies to understand consumer behavior with unprecedented precision. In short, AI has become invisible editor, producer, and distributor in modern India. AI is all about teaching machines to think and learn in ways similar to humans. AI systems feed on large amount of data like images, text, or numbers and look for patterns. What makes AI powerful is that it does not just follow fixed instructions. It can adopt and improvise as it processes new informations. Artificial intelligence relies on data-driven predictive algorithms based on machine learning to infer standards and influence behaviors. AI learns from data like human learns from experience, enabling machines to think, understand, and act in a varied and intelligent ways without being explicitly programmed for every risk. The translation system, as we have already embraced everywhere in the other part of the country, the high courts have embraced this system of translating the judgments in a local language or in the particular language. The translation system driven by AI has made it possible for digital content to reach audiences across India in different languages. Streaming platforms rely on recommendations algorithms that analyze viewing history to suggest content suited to users' preferences. The virtual news anchors like Asana on India TV and the Lisa on Orissa TV deliver news round the clock. There are far-checking platforms to identify manipulated images and deepfake contents with the help of AI tools. With the help of artificial intelligence, the task that one needed, expensive infrastructure or a large production crews, can now be carried out by an individual creator using only the basic equipments like a laptop. The Honorable Supreme Court has consistently recognized that the freedom of the press is an essential part of the freedom of speech and expressions guaranteed under Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution. The freedom of press flowing from the Article 19(1)(a) of our Constitution is not absolute. Rather, it comes with limitation on issues like the public order, morality, defamation, contempt of courts, and the national security. The judicial pronouncement has underlined that although an independent and impartial press is indispensable for democracy, it must operate with responsibility and commitment to truth. Honorable Supreme Court has consistently held that the freedom of press is vital but not absolute. It has struck down the unreasonable restrictions in Romesh Thappar's case, the Bennett Coleman and Company, that's the case, the Indian Express newspaper's case, and the India Real Estate Corporation Limited's case. Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of the Human Rights and Article 10 of the European Convention on Human Rights both guaranteed the freedom of opinion and expression, including the right to hold views freely and share information across all media and borders. In November 2021, the UNESCO adopted the recommendation on the ethics of the artificial intelligence, marking the first global standard-setting policy on AI ethics. It spells out principles like transparency, accountability, fairness, and human oversight, asserting that the AI system must respect and enhance the cultural diversity and freedom of expression, not to curtail them. The European Union Artificial Intelligence Act of 2024 is a risk-based framework that classifies AI system into 4 categories: unacceptable risk, high risk, limited risk, and the minimal or the no risk. The Model AI Governance Framework for Generative AI of the Singapore 2024, as my earlier speaker was referring about it, that provides a practical guidance for responsible generative AI use through accountability, testing, self-deployment, and ongoing monitoring. The core of India's digital governance is the Information and Technology Act and the Information Technology Intermediary Guidelines in the Digital Media Ethical Code Rules of 2021. These laws place a clear responsibility on digital platforms to act swiftly against the harmful or illegal content shared on their platforms. If a user flags something like a morphed image, a deep fake, or other AI-generated fake content, the platform must remove it within 24 hours. It mandates the platform must set up grievance redressal system, appoint India-based nodal officers, and enable message traceability in serious cases like a child abuse or a national security threats. In August 2023, India took a landmark step, powers individuals to exercise greater control over how their personal data is collected, processed, and safeguarded. If any business house fails to implement reasonable security safeguards against the data breaches, the penalties are heavy, reaching up to rupees 250 crores in serious cases. AI enhances the journalism with the speed and efficiency, but raises a significant concerns around the bias, the fairness, employment, and accountability as algorithm increasingly says shape the visibility of news. The generative AI challenges existing copyright and the author norms, raising debate over whether the right should rest with the human creators, system developers, or attributed to AI-generated output themselves. It poses a several social risk, massive amount of personal data often collected without the genuine content that really invades some constitutional rights to privacy. The AI has the capability to produce the highly convincing fake videos or the audio recordings, blurring the line between the truth and the fabrication. I can give one example that a manipulated clip may depict a public figure saying things that he never actually and thereby he actually said, and thereby eroding the public trust and misleading the audiences. The algorithm bias shows that the AI system shaped by human data and the design can unintentionally reinforce social diversions and the discrimination if not carefully managed. It is used to generate news on its own. There is a real danger that the journalism could lose some of the originality and the depth. I do not want to take much more time except I wanted to give my opinion about the use of the media, the artificial intelligence by the media, is that the AI may be able to analyze and process information at remarkable speed, but it lacks the conscience and ethical judgment, which are the sheet anchors of the journalism. Only human journalists can ask pertinent questions to unravel the truth, narrate genuine human stories, and safeguard the media's essential role in the democracy. The real issue is not AI itself, but the way it reshapes media practices. The journalists must treat AI as an aid while preserving their independence, integrity, and responsibility. If the people cannot trust the news or what they are reading, it is a threat to democracy which thrives on public opinion. If we rush to use AI just because it is fast and efficient, without putting in place strong rules and protections, we risk losing some of the most important things we rely on: a fair legal system, honest media, and the people's trust in our institutions. The AI must be used wisely as it can break language barriers, fight fake news, and open doors for more voices. But if left unchecked, it can spread lies, break trust, and twist the truth. The Constitution guarantees the freedom of speech and expression, but when every video can be fabricated, when every voice can be cloned, and when the falsehood travels faster than the fact, how does one safeguard this freedom? AI will definitely concentrate powers with those who control data and algorithm, risking deeper inequality in the society. Ultimately, how we choose to use AI will shape the future of the media. AI should be viewed as a helpful tool that enhances the human creativity and accountability, not as a replacement of a human. To ensure AI empowers rather than exploits, law must evolve and society as a whole must stay vigilant. The law must guide technology, ensuring progress does not come at the cost of our rights and the dignities. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Pandu Utkala Janani.
It's now my proud privilege to invite our keynote speaker, Honorable Mr. Justice Vikram Nath, Judge Supreme Court of India.
A very warm good afternoon to everyone present in this auditorium. You must have seen that the usher here just put a foot for me, thinking that I'm small.
So it was for me.
But no, I'll tell you, I'm actually small and I'm feeling very timid sitting, sandwiched between two tall giant personalities. Throughout the 7 hours, I was sitting with one tall personality, and now here I am accosted by the other one. And then I am in kind of an informal dress. I'm sorry for that. I also had bought a suit like the Chief Justice, light grey, but still packed inside the bag. Next time, my appearance would be better. Anyway. Honorable Chief Justice, the Orissa High Court, Justice Harish Tandon, Mr. Pitambar Acharya, Learned Advocate General, State of Orissa, Honorable Judges of the Orissa High Court, Mr. Vikas Singh, President, Supreme Court Bar Association, Mr. Manoj Kumar Mishra, President, Orissa High Court Bar Association, Mr. Rahul Kaushik, Vice President, Ms. Pragya Baghel, Secretary, and other office bearers of the Supreme Court Bar Association. We also have Mr. Patnaik, Avijit Patnaik, Secretary of the Orissa High Court Bar Association, respected senior advocates, learned advocates, ladies and gentlemen. I can understand your condition very much. In your place, I would also have been thinking the same as you. Thoughts must be coming to you that this program should now get over as early as possible. We have all been here since 10:30 in the morning and it's about 2:30 now. But still, since we have taken so much of risk of almost, landing and then taking off suddenly from Bhubaneswar airport at the right time around 10 a.m. So that we are still here and alive. So please bear with me for half an hour and I'll not take more than that. It is indeed a privilege to be here this morning, now it's afternoon, at a joint event organized by the Supreme Court Bar Association in collaboration with the Orissa High Court Bar Association. At the very outset, I express my gratitude for the warm words of introduction by Ms. Baghel and the gracious welcome extended by Mr. Kaushik. It is a peculiar feeling to address a hall of Indian lawyers about artificial intelligence. Half of you fear that AI will replace associates, while the other half secretly hopes it replaces the opposing counsel. I assure you it will do neither, and at least not before the next cause list. The writer and futurist Isaac Asimov once remarked, "The saddest aspect of life right now is that science gathers knowledge faster than society gathers wisdom." When I reflect on the theme of this evening, media, artificial intelligence, and law, I find this observation strikingly relevant. AI today can analyze mountains of data in seconds. It can draft texts, mimic human voices, even create images that have the potential to deceive the human eye. In my years on the bench, I have seen how a single newspaper report or a viral clip can influence public discourse, sometimes even before a court has spoken. Having said so, we cannot take the credit where it is due. I have also observed how technology has begun to ease the work of courts, whether through e filing, transcription, or digital translation. Media, amplified by technology, can spread the information at lightning speed across the globe. Yet, what remains uncertain is whether our collective wisdom, our ethical compass, our constitutional values, our legal safeguards, have they kept pace with this acceleration? Before the case law, let us do a statute check. India has a new privacy framework in the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, which requires lawful purpose, consent or legitimate use, and reasonable safeguards for processing personal data. The Act aims to balance the right of individuals to protect their personal data with the need for lawful processing, such as for services, governance, or commerce. We must understand that the law, unlike technology, is not designed for speed. It is designed for justice. Recently, the Constitution Bench of the Apex Court in Allahabad High Court Bar Association versus State of UP quoted with appreciation another decision of three judges of 2004, wherein it has been held that the process of justice may be speeded up and hurried, but fairness, which is the basic element of justice, cannot be permitted to be buried. And thus, the phrase, justice hurried is justice buried. Courts move deliberately in the pace in which they do because justice demands reflection, balance, and fairness. Media and AI, on the other hand, operate in real time, often without pause for accuracy or accountability. This tension between speed and wisdom, between knowledge and conscience, defines the challenge before us. It is in this context that I propose to share some reflections with you today on the evolving role of media as the fourth pillar of democracy, on the promises and perils of AI in the justice system, and on how both must ultimately remain accountable to the higher calling of law and justice. The Constitution of India recognizes the press as a cornerstone of democracy. Though not expressly mentioned, freedom of the press flows from Article 19(1)(a), the right of freedom of speech and expression. Our courts have consistently affirmed that a free and fearless press is indispensable to democratic life. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, during the Constituent Assembly debates, emphasized that democracy is not merely about periodic elections, it is about the continuous accountability of those in power. And in this accountability, the media plays a vital role. However, this freedom is not absolute. It is subject to the reasonable restrictions under Article 19(2), relating to sovereignty and integrity of India, security of the state, public order, decency or morality, and importantly, contempt of court and defamation. The task of the judiciary has always been to balance this cherished freedom with equally compelling constitutional values. Over the years, several judgments have sought
to strike this balance. In R. Rajagopal versus State of Tamil Nadu, this court held that the press has the freedom to publish what it believes to be true, subject to the test of reasonable restrictions, and recognize the individual's right to privacy against
unwarranted intrusion. In Sahara India Real Estate versus SEBI, this court grappled with the problem of trial by media and observed that while free reporting is essential, courts may in exceptional cases issue postmortem orders to prevent justice to the administration of justice. These decisions highlight a fundamental tension, the press as a watchdog, but never as a judge. The challenge has become sharper in the age of 24/7 television channels and instantaneous social media. What was once reported after deliberation and editorial oversight is now broadcast live, unfiltered and often without adequate verification. A single clip, sometimes even out of context, can shape public opinion long before a court has had the chance to apply its mind. The presumption of innocence, which lies at the very heart of criminal jurisprudence, is increasingly tested in the court of public opinion. The judiciary has also not been immune to media scrutiny. Our judgments, our conduct, even our silences are analyzed and critiqued in newspapers, television debates, and social media threads. This is healthy for a democracy, as accountability strengthens institutions and builds trust in the people. But we must not forget that criticism must be informed, constructive, and respectful of the boundaries of judicial independence. A line is crossed when commentary tends to scandalize or lower the authority of the courts. To top this all up, the icing on the cake is that sometimes the influencers and social media accounts themselves engage in selective picking of arguments, discussions being made in the court. They extract this bite, usually termed as clickbait, to draw a greater number of views to generate revenue at the cost of reputation of our courts. There are several instances when the Supreme Court judges have been questioned on social media because of these selective picking of clips from court proceedings.
in which
The statement made by judges when heard in the clips is usually out of context. The whole Nupur Sharma incident, where communal violence had erupted because of the comments made by a politician on religious figures. My brother judges, who are still part of the bench, called out that such callous and negligent dialogue is not expected from public leaders. However, this did not go well with the common public, and because of this out of context dialogue between the bar and the bench, the brother judges were castigated when nothing was actually said on the merits of the case. In fact, relief was given ultimately to the petitioner. Recently, again, my brother judges were hearing a matter seeking transfer and clubbing of FIRs that erupted out of the online show India's Got Latent Controversy. Again, social media was flooded with edited bites of dialogue between the bar and the bench, and my learned brothers were labeled as anti free speech. Quote, it is unfortunate for many reasons, one of which is that ultimately the petitioner was granted relief by the court. As judges, we cannot expect to mutely spectate when issues gravely affecting the common conscience of this country are raked up. Our job as a sentinel on the qui vive, as a watchful guardian, is to engage in dialogue to share our perspective as well as learn the perspective of the other side. This is how dialectic dialogue works. This is what Plato's characters 2000 years ago were doing in his books. They were debating and discussing. Sometimes, seeing these experiences, I wonder whether in the court of public opinion, do we judges have no fundamental right to freedom of speech and expression? We have also come across instances where reporting has turned into parallel prosecution. In high-profile cases, individuals are branded guilty or innocent even before the first witness is examined. Such commentary, while perhaps well-intentioned, risks undermining the right to a fair trial under Article 21. The courts are bound by evidence, while on the other hand, the media is often driven by immediacy. The law insists on proof beyond reasonable doubt. The media sometimes settles for what is merely probable or sensational. This is not to deny the positive role of media. It is through investigative journalism that issues of corruption, environmental degradation, and human rights violations have come to light. The press has often given voice to the voiceless and held the powerful to account, and that is essentially why press is referred to as the fourth pillar of democracy. During emergencies, natural disasters, and even during the pandemic, the media has been a lifeline of information. The point is not to diminish its role, but to remind ourselves that with great power comes great responsibility. A famous quote from comic book writer Stan Lee in his Spider-Man comics. The intersection of media and law raises difficult questions about contempt jurisdiction. Contempt powers are exceptional, they are to be used sparingly, and only when the administration of justice is at stake. The courts must tread carefully. Too harsh a response risks chilling free speech. Too lenient an approach may embolden reckless reporting. The balance lies in preserving both judicial dignity and media freedom. As I reflect upon this theme, I recall the words of Justice Hugo Black of the US Supreme Court, who once observed that, quote, the press was protected
so that it could bear the secrets
of government and inform the people, unquote. Thus, the constitutional framework trusts the media to function as an ally of democracy not as an adversary to justice. The road ahead, therefore, lies not in confrontation, but in collaboration and self regulation. There is great need for the media to evolve ethical codes that ensure accuracy, respect for privacy, and fairness in reporting. At the same time, courts must also remain alive to the realities of modern communication and develop doctrines that safeguard both free expression and fair trial. Ultimately, both institutions, the press and the judiciary, draw their legitimacy from public trust. If one loses credibility, the other is affected. It is in the interest of democracy that both move forward in mutual respect, ensuring that truth and not noise prevails. Coming towards the second part of today's discussion, artificial intelligence. Before beginning, it is important to stripe away the aura of mystery that often surrounds it. AI is not magic, it is mathematics trained on data. It is a system that learns from patterns, predicts outcomes, and generates responses based on the information fed into it. Yet, because it imitates human language, human images, and sometimes even human reasoning, it creates the impression of thought and judgment. For the legal system, this technology presents both immense promise and serious peril. Let us first come to what promises does this technology present. AI has already begun to assist lawyers and courts. Legal research that once took days can now be performed in minutes, with AI-powered search tools highlighting relevant judgments, statutes, and even probable lines of reasoning. Case management systems are becoming more efficient. The Supreme Court of India has already taken significant steps with the e-courts project, which includes digitization of records, e-filing, and virtual hearings. Transcription services and translation of judgments. Our Supreme Court has been a pioneer in this respect as we have piloted AI-assisted live transcriptions for constitution bench matters and use SUVAS, Supreme Court Vidhik Anuvad software, to translate judgments into Indian languages, small steps with big access to justice dividends. Even some of the high courts are also translating judgments into the vernacular language of their respective states. But alongside this promise comes the peril. The first concern is algorithmic bias. AI systems are only as fair as the data on which they are trained. If the data reflects social prejudices based on race, caste, gender, or economic status, the algorithm reproduces and sometimes amplifies those biases. In criminal justice, this can mean harsher predictive risk scores for marginalized groups. In civil disputes, it can mean skewed recommendations. A machine may be efficient, but is not immune to prejudice. The second concern is transparency. Most AI operate as a black box. It produces an answer without showing the reasoning. In law, reasoning is not optional. It is the very essence of justice. A judgment without reasons is not a judgment at all. If we allow AI to decide without transparency, we risk replacing deliberation with opacity. The third concern is accountability. If an AI tool gives a wrong answer, say it misquotes a precedent or generates a defamatory statement, who bears responsibility? The programmer, the platform, the user, or the AI itself? Our present legal framework is not equipped to answer these questions with clarity. The fourth concern is privacy. AI requires data and very vast amounts of it. In a country like India, where the right to privacy has been recognized as a fundamental right, in Justice case Puttaswamy versus Union of India, the unregulated use of personal data for training algorithms raises serious constitutional questions. We must guard against the misuse of citizens' data in ways that undermine their autonomy and dignity. There is also a philosophical concern. Law is not merely about efficiency, it is about justice, equity, and conscience. A judge is not an algorithm, a judge is a human being guided by constitutional morality, empathy, and lived experience. A machine cannot understand the anguish of a victim, the remorse of an accused, or the complexities of social context. Justice is not a product, it It is a process. And in that process, dignity is non-negotiable. The question then arises, what should be the role of AI in the legal system? In my respectful view, the answer lies in treating AI as an aid, not as an arbiter. AI can support judges, lawyers, and litigants by enhancing access, reducing delays, and assisting in research. But the ultimate act of adjudication must remain a human function guided by conscience and constitutional values. There are also important comparative lessons. In the United States, debates around predictive sentencing have led to strong pushback, with courts warning against blind reliance on algorithmic scores. In the European Union, lawmakers are working on the AI Act, which seeks to classify AI systems into risk categories with strict regulation of high risk applications in justice delivery. UNESCO has adopted ethical guidelines on AI that emphasize human oversight, transparency, and accountability. India too must evolve its own framework rooted in our constitutional values. As we embrace technology in our courts, we must simultaneously establish safeguards. Transparency requirements for AI tools used in legal processes, regular audits to check for bias and accuracy, clear liability rules to fix responsibility for AI generated errors, strong data protection laws to ensure privacy and dignity of individuals. Let me end this part with a simple thought. Technology is powerful, but power without value is dangerous. We must not allow AI to become a substitute for human wisdom. Our task is to harness it responsibly to make justice more accessible while ensuring that the human conscience remains at the center of our legal system. As we move forward, the guiding principle must be this: artificial intelligence may inform the process of justice, but only human intelligence can deliver the essence of justice. When we speak of media, artificial intelligence, and law, it is tempting to examine them in isolation. But in truth, their greatest impact arises at the points where they converge. Media is no longer only a newspaper on your doorstep or a television broadcast in the evening. It is a 24/7 ecosystem shaped by algorithms, curated by artificial intelligence, and consumed by citizens at a pace that outstrips the capacity of traditional regulation. A trending post today can influence markets, politics, and even public perceptions of ongoing trials by tomorrow. Artificial intelligence, in turn, does not operate in a vacuum. It feeds on data, much of which is supplied by the media, and in turn influences what media shows us. Together, they create echo chambers that amplify certain narratives while muting others. The law must then navigate this reality, a reality where the boundary between the truth and fabrication, fact and opinion, is increasingly porous. Another serious problem in recent times is the challenge posed by celebrity deepfakes and protection of their personality rights. We have seen the headlines: the Rashmika Mandana deepfake triggered police action here in Delhi. Courts have since protected the personality rights of celebrities like Anil Kapoor and Jackie Shroff, explicitly referencing AI misuse. These orders matter beyond Bollywood. They sketch remedies for name, image, voice abuse, takedown obligations for platforms, and injunction templates your chambers can adapt tomorrow. This convergence of law, media, and AI raises three crucial concerns. Truth in the age of algorithms. When AI curates what we read or watch, who ensures that the citizen receives balanced and accurate information? If algorithms are biased or manipulated, the very foundation of informed democracy is at risk. Fair trials and media narratives. AI generated content, whether deepfakes or automated commentary, can be weaponized by media platforms. This challenges the court's ability to safeguard fair trials, protect reputations, and maintain public confidence in justice. Third, regulatory and ethical frameworks. Should we treat AI driven media content like traditional journalism, or should the law create new categories of responsibility? And most importantly, how do we strike the balance between stifling free expression? The answers are not simple. What is clear, however, is that the future of our constitutional democracy will depend on how wisely we regulate this convergence. Neither media nor AI can be left unchecked. Yet neither can law become so heavy-handed that it stifles innovation or suppresses the vibrancy of public discourse. At the end of the day, we must remember that technology is a tool, media is a channel, but law is the conscience of the society. Our task as lawyers, judges, and citizens is to ensure that this conscience does not fall silent amidst the noise of digital modernity. Every great technological or social transformation brings with it a simple yet profound question. By what compass shall we navigate? For us in India, the answer lies in the Constitution. It is both our anchor and our North Star. Whether we speak of media freedoms, artificial intelligence, or their convergence, our task is to test them against the touchstone of principles that form the bedrock of our republic. Three constitutional concerns stand out. One, free speech and its limits. Article 19(1)(a) guarantees freedom of speech and expression. The media, both traditional and digital, draws its strength from this provision. Yet Article 19(2) reminds us that this freedom is not absolute. Decency, morality, public order, and the security of the state, these are not archaic restrictions but enduring the safeguards. The challenge of our age in applying these to content created and disseminated by machines as much as by men and women. Number two, equality and non-discrimination. Artificial intelligence promises efficiency, but it also carries the risk of encoding and amplifying human biases. If AI systems used in media, governance, or even adjudication reinforce stereotypes or marginalized communities, they run afoul of Article 14. The Constitution demands not only equal protection but also equal dignity. Third, due process and fairness. In a time when algorithms can shape reputations, influence trials, and even suggest judicial outcomes, we must reaffirm our fidelity to Article 21, the right to life and personal liberty, which has been read to include fairness, due process, and dignity. No automated decision-making process can override the constitutional promise of justice. In essence, the constitutional compass does not resist change. It guides it. It does not reject technology. It humanizes it. It does not silence media. It disciplines it in the service of truth. As custodians of the Constitution, we must ensure that technological innovation and media dynamism always remain servants of democracy, never its masters. Having surveyed the terrain of media, artificial intelligence, and the law through the lens of our Constitution, the natural question is, where do we go from here? I suggest three pathways for the future. Strengthening legal frameworks. Our laws must keep pace with the transformation around us. India today stands at the cusp of formulating a comprehensive legal regime on data protection, digital media regulation, and artificial intelligence. The judiciary, the legislature, and the bar must together ensure that these frameworks balance innovation with accountability and liberty with responsibility. We must avoid both extremes, the paralysis of overregulation and the anarchy of a legal vacuum. Number two, judicial preparedness and capacity building. Courts cannot remain bystanders to the digital revolution. From e-filing to AI-assisted legal research, technology must be harnessed to reduce pendency and improve access to justice. Judicial use of AI must therefore be transparent, explainable, and always under human control. For this, we must invest in training judges and lawyers, developing institutional protocols, and creating ethical guidelines. Third, collaborative responsibility. Finally, the way forward is not for the judiciary alone. The media must recommit to truth and fairness. The tech community must adopt ethics into code. The bar must act as the conscience keeper of the profession, and the civil society must demand accountability. The task before us is collective, not solitary. To borrow from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, quote, "The future is not in an inheritance, it is an opportunity and an obligation," unquote. If we approach media, artificial intelligence, and the law not as isolated domains, but as interwoven forces shaping democracy, then the way forward will not only safeguard our present but also secure our future. As we conclude, allow me to step back and weave together the strands of our discussion: media, artificial intelligence, and the law. The media is both the mirror and the molder of society. It carries the capacity to strengthen democracy through accountability, yet it can also distort truth when driven by commercial or partisan compulsions. AI, on the other hand, represents the cutting edge of human ingenuity. It promises transformative advances in access to justice, in predictive efficiency, and in democratizing knowledge. Yet it equally threatens us with opacity, algorithmic bias, and the unsettling possibility of technology outpacing human control. And where does the law stand amidst these turbulent currents? The law cannot be static, nor can it be reactionary. It must provide the constitutional compass, ensuring that media remains a watchdog and not a lapdog, and that AI becomes a tool of empowerment and not of exclusion. The law has the delicate but decisive task of balancing liberty with accountability, innovation with ethics, and progress with human dignity. In many ways, the future lies not in choosing media and law or between law and AI, but in their harmonious integration under constitutional discipline. For instance, responsible reporting in the digital era may be guided by AI tools that check accuracy and filter misinformation. But the final safeguard must always be human conscience shaped by constitutional values. Similarly, courts may employ AI for efficiency, but the solemn duty of delivering justice must rest only with human judges, for justice is not a computation, it is a moral choice. If the past century belonged to the struggle for free speech, perhaps the coming one will belong to the struggle for true speech. Information that is accurate, ethical, and respectful of dignity. If the past century grappled with access to justice, the coming one may grapple with fairness and technologically driven justice. And if the past century debated the power of the press, the coming one will debate the power of algorithm. The struggle is never ending. I'm about to end. A short message to young advocates. Don't get impatient. First, to young members of the bar, I want to share a piece of advice. The challenges, as we have discussed, are real. Therefore, you must be prepared to provide your clients with best possible counseling and legal assistance in court. Therefore, draft template pleadings that describe the manipulation technique, face swap, voice clone, text to speech, annex forensic screenshots and hashes, plead multi ground relief, personality defamation passing off IT, seek dynamic injunctions, mirror site blocking, and time bound takedown directions, and require the platform to disclose originator details subject to due process. The Anil Kapoor and Jackie Shroff orders are your precedents for expansive protection against AI misuse. Secondly, what do we judges expect from you? Let us see. Transparency, whether in arbitration or court, AI may assist, but it is incapable to decide. Therefore, keep human reasons on record. Document what tool you used, why it was suitable, how you verified outputs, and how you have protected your client's data. Third, why you still matter. AI can subtitle a constitutional bench in 10 languages. It cannot read the room when you say, "My lords, with your kind permission." It can summarize 500 pages. It cannot sense the judge's eyebrow. Use it for speed, for reach, for clarity, but keep judgment human. Lastly, our path, therefore, is clear and demanding. The media must reclaim its ethical center. AI must be harnessed through transparent regulation, and the law, our law, must remain the vigilant guardian, drawing from the Constitution the eternal values of liberty, equality, and fraternity. As Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. in the Common Law once said, "The life of the law has not been logic, it has been experience." Today, our collective experience tells us that unchecked media can destabilize, unregulated AI can dehumanize, and a passive law can fossilize. But equally, our experiences assures us that principled media can empower, responsible AI can humanize, and a living law can civilize. Let us then commit ourselves to this path, a path where law provides direction, media provides light, and artificial intelligence provides tools, all converging not against each other but towards the service of justice. Parting and a small humor. If someday an AI can replace us in courts, I only ask that it also stands in corridor queues and chases the registry for missing files. Until then, let's make technology our junior, not our judge. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. So there is a request from the young members of the bar to have a picture with you after the program. Otherwise, they have to ask the AI to merge their picture with your picture. With this, I request Mr. Abhijit Patnaik, Honorary Secretary, Orissa High Court Bar Association, to give vote of thanks.
Respected dignitaries, learned members of the bar, ladies and gentlemen, it is my proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion. At this very outset, I express our deepest gratitude to Honorable Mr. Justice Vikram Nath, Judge of Supreme Court of India, for gracing us as the chief guest and delivering the keynote address. Sir, your words have not only enlightened us, but have also reminded us the ever-evolving relationship between the law, media, and technology. As saying goes, the technology is a useful servant, but a dangerous master. And your reflections have shown us the responsibility of a legal fraternity must shoulder in its age of artificial intelligence. I extend our heartfelt thanks to Honorable Mr. Justice Harish Tandon, Chief Justice of Orissa High Court, who honored us with his august presence. Sir, your support and guidance always inspire the bar to strive harder towards justice and fairness. I also take this opportunity to acknowledge with deep appreciation the gracious presence of our esteemed judges of Orissa High Court. We are also equally grateful to Sri Pitambar Acharya, Advocate General of Orissa, for joining us as our distinguished guest. Your words and presence have added immense value to this discussion. We are also delighted, sir, because, sir, you are truly an institution, and with your endeavor, we could pull up this great event. Thank you, sir, with all our hearts out. Thank you, sir, from all the office bearers of Odisha High Court Bar Association and all the members of Odisha High Court Bar Association are truly grateful to you, sir. Thank you, sir. On behalf of Odisha High Court Bar Association, I place on record our sincere thanks to Sri Manoj Kumar Mishra, Senior Advocate and President of our association, for his constant encouragement and leadership in making the collaboration meaningful. He is a father figure to us, and your guidance is always proving us successful in all and each events. I also wish to thank the Supreme Court Bar Association for joining hands with us in organizing this discussion. My special appreciation goes to our colleague, Ms. Pragya Vagal, Honorary Secretary of ACBA, for her cooperation throughout. Thank you, ma'am. I also thank Mr. Rahul Kosik, Senior Advocate and Vice President of ACBA, for his words of encouragement. I am also delighted to have Anindita Pujari, ma'am, who is a Senior Counsel, and we are very much pleased that ma'am has given an immense support to make this event a success. Thank you, ma'am. I must also thank the Chairman, Bar Council of Odisha, Mr. Sitanshu Dwivedi, sir. So you are a great leader, and with your great leadership, we are always striving towards a great success. And thank you, sir, for your blessing and support. I also extend my gratitude to the Registry of Odisha High Court for their valuable support, and to all the members of the bar who have joined us in large number. Last but not the least, I thank all the members of the bar, young and my most adorable senior advocates who are present. They are always with us. Thank you, sir, for being with us. And with your blessings, there will be definitely more events and it will be more successful. Thank you, sir. And with a special thanks to my senior, Mr. Ashok Parija, sir, for his great effort. For his effort, we could pull it to this extent, and this event has become a successful. Thank you, sir. With this word, I once again extend gratitude to everyone who contributed to this program. May this dialogue today guide us in harmonizing law and technology in the service of justice. Thank you. Jai Jagannath.
And I request all the members of the bar that lunch is prepared already, so you can go and have your lunch. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
CBA members to come on stage, Manish Dubey, and Orissa High Court Bar Association as well, for a group photograph. Sanjay Nuli sir, I request you to come on stage. Andita ma'am, Manish Dubey, Joint Secretary, Mukesh sir, Rupen Singh sir, Rachna Gandhi, Manish Mohan sir. Without them, the program would be not been without their support. And also the members of the High Court Bar Association.
All the executive body member and all.
Our Joint Secretary, Assistant Secretary, Library Secretary, Vice President Sir Siddharth Naik, wherever you please come to the stage.